No one is perfect, and award show flubs could happen to anyone. Sometimes things just don't go to plan. We've got 10 more examples of this in this part 3 list of celebrities who destroyed their careers at award shows. Now, maybe they didn't technically destroy their careers, but it was enough to be a flub and to have people talking about it. I'm your host for this one, Joss Bedard. Thanks for checking us out. Make sure you guys leave a like on this video and also subscribe so you don't miss another one. Kicking off our countdown at number 10 is Nicki Minaj. Celebrity drama happens all the time, but there is a time and place when to get into it with one another. Most people would agree that during an award show is the last place that you should bring up some drama from the media. It was during the 2015 VMA Awards when Miley Cyrus was hosting the show and found herself in a scandal right in the middle of it. Nicki was accepting the award for Best Hip Hop Video for Anaconda when she looked across the room to the other stage that Miley was on and said, "And now back to this that had a lot to say about me in the press the other day. Miley, what's good?" The whole room fell silent and it was just so awkward to watch. You could tell Miley was in complete shock and she tried her best to just say that the media will turn your words into something that they are not. And then she just kind of like continued on with the show. It was super awkward. Like what? Why would you call someone out in the middle of an award show? Ladies, just discuss it later on. Up next, number 9, we have Johnny Depp. The actor shocked everyone when he showed up to the Hollywood Film Awards in 2014 and gave a very strange speech. He took the stage to present the documentary award for Mike Myers' documentary, Supermensch, The Legend of Shep Gordon, but he stumbled his way through the speech. He was stumbling over his words, slurring and swearing, all things that you don't expect to see while someone is giving out an important award. But yeah, he appeared wobbly from the start, to be honest, as he struggled with the microphone and called it the weirdest microphone he has ever seen in his life, as if he has never stood in front of one before. Other celebrities and fans took this speech to Twitter, saying that he should be embarrassed and that he came across as an arrogant drunk. Reports say that he had made his way to the bar before hitting the stage, but most people honestly already concluded that, like on their own. If you watch the speech, you would already know he had a few drinks. Sliding into number 8, we have Miguel Adorn. This one ended in a lawsuit, so it had more of an impact on his bank account than his reputation. The video is hard to watch, but it is a must-see. Our video would get claimed for copyright, but I will provide as many hilarious pictures as possible. Go watch the clip after this video though. Honestly, it is worth the fail. It's worth the watch. It was at the Billboard Music Awards in 2013 when he jumped off the stage and ended up landing on a woman's face. Well, he actually landed on 2 women, but one of them took the brunt of the fall. Of course, it was totally an accident. He was supposed to land on the other stage, not a person, but the victim sued him, and 2 years later in 2015, he was facing a lawsuit for negligence. The lawsuit claimed that the victim faced injuries, medical expenses, possible future medical expenses, loss of wages, and loss of personal property, and loss of enjoyment of life. The lawsuit was worth $10,000. $10,000 for jumping off the stage. Bruh. Like, did you not plan if you missed that jump, what would happen? There's people underneath you. Moving on to number 7, we have Tiffany Haddish. The hilarious actress made headlines after the 2018 Oscars, but for reasons that she probably regrets. She joined Andy Serkis on stage to announce the nominations for the 90th Academy Awards, but the way she mispronounced names on some of the nominees had people roasting her on Twitter. She couldn't pronounce a few different names, but she remained in good spirits while she tried a few times to just get it right. Other celebrities and fans went on Twitter to laugh at her Oscar flub and wondered how she even got them that wrong. However, while some people were laughing, other people weren't. He tweeted, "This is brutal watching Tiffany Haddish mispronounce everything during these Oscar announcements. It was disrespectful and pathetic." What do you guys think? Like, is it disrespectful and pathetic? Are you with them, or would you laugh it off and be like, we're human? Some people can't pronounce names. like me. Making her way into number 6 is Jacqueline Bisset. We can't deny that a lot of celebrities want to be the biggest player in the game, so winning an award for their career is probably one of the most important things to ever receive. Which is why many of them will spend hours trying to draft up an acceptance speech in case they win the award. They can be prepared when they go up on stage. Well, Jacqueline seemed to be one of these celebrities who prepared, but hers was way longer than anyone expected. She won the award for the Best Actress in a Supporting Role at the 2014 Golden Globes, and her speech could just not be stopped. News articles spoke on how long her speech was, and people talked about it on social media, saying that it went on for what seemed like hours. While people were happy to see her win the award, the speech just came off as a total fail. I appreciate, you want to thank everyone and you deserve that moment to win. But yeah, there is a time limit, I feel like, where people just stop listening. Halfway through our list, number 5 is Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway. A mistake that could happen to anyone, so this one really isn't their fault, but they had to take the heat for it because they were the presenters. They were presenting at the 2017 Oscars, and apparently they were given the wrong envelope and mistakenly announced that La La Land had won Best Picture. They were actually given a copy of an envelope that declared Emma Stone on Best Actress for La La Land, but that award had already been announced, so there was just a big mix-up with envelopes. It was a very uncomfortable thing to watch because La La Land was giving their acceptance speech, but then got cut short, and then Moonlight was declared to be the actual winner. Announcing the wrong winner at the Oscars, I don't think it gets much worse than that. That would be like my biggest fear. Oh, how awkward, because then they're celebrating and then you just take their award back and be like, oops, sorry, you actually didn't win. Awkward. In spot number 4, we have Rami Malek. He has been a big player in the game for a while now, but his role as Freddie Mercury in Bohemian Rhapsody really put him on the map. He was nominated for countless awards at the 2019 Oscar Awards and even walked away with a few wins to his name. Unfortunately, he also walked away with some bruises. Bruises on his body and some bruises to his ego. As he made his way to the center of the stage to collect his award, it seemed like he was in a rush to get back to his seat and his girlfriend. In his rush back, he so happened to fall off the stage and completely tumbled to the ground with his award in hand. Falling off the Oscar stage is definitely up there for one of the most embarrassing things that could happen to an actor when winning an award. Like if I won an award, my biggest fear would be the speech and then literally not falling, especially because I'd be in a dress. Jennifer Lawrence. I'm thinking about you, girl. Taking over the 3rd spot is Ryan Seacrest. I am all for a little bit of innocent self-promotion, but there is a time and a place, and I don't know if the Oscars is the place for that. In one aspect, the promotion opportunity is huge because it's the Oscars, but some people would say it's just not very classy. Ryan Seacrest had no problem with it and used his hosting opportunity to his advantage. At the 2019 Oscar Awards, he was doing what he always does by interviewing celebrities on the red carpet and asking them who they are wearing so that they can promote the designers. But people said Ryan went a little overboard and used a lot of his screen time to plug his new suit line. Most people want to hear about the world's biggest designers, but Ryan wanted people to know that he had a new suit line. He even dished on where they could buy it, and fans let him know on social media just how annoying it was. Making their way into number 2 is Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga. Their performance at the 2019 Oscar Awards was one of the most talked about moments for a few different reasons, some good and some bad. The world saw them perform the song Shallow from their movie A Star Is Born, and everyone praised their beautiful performance. But it raised a lot of eyebrows because of how romantic it seemed. People immediately flooded social media with claims that they were in a romantic relationship with one another, which obviously caused a lot of controversy because they were both in other relationships with other people at the time. People were very confused why they would perform as their characters that were in love when they were just there to perform as Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper. But Gaga later explained and said, "We mapped the whole thing out. It was orchestrated as a performance. For me, as a performer and as an actress, of course we wanted people to believe that we were in love. But the world was convinced that something more was going on between them." If you guys saw it, let me know what you think. In our number 1 spot is Angelina Jolie. This is by far the weirdest story I've ever had to write about on this channel, and I'm surprised I'm just finding out about it for the first time, seeing as I have been doing these videos for over 2 years. Angelina both shocked and confused the world in 2000 when she attended the Oscar Awards and kissed her brother on the lips. But not like a quick greeting kiss, no, like a big, romantic, weird kiss. She had won the award for Best Supporting Actress that night, and in her acceptance speech, she gave thanks to her brother, who she claimed to be in love with. She said, I quote, "I'm in shock and I'm so in love with my brother right now. He just held me and said he loved me and I know he's happy for me and thank you for that." Then later in the evening, she posed for photographers with her award in hand and her brother by her side, and that is when they shared the epic kiss on the lips. After it flooded the media, she went on to say that it was nothing more than brotherly and that her parents loved the picture. I'm uncomfortable. I have a brother, and there is no way, I love him to death, one of my best friends, my God, and he would be just as happy for me if I won an award, but there's no freaking way I'm wrapping my arms around him and kissing him like he my man. That is weird. Starting us off at number 10 is Adele. It's no surprise that she has won a handful of awards for her music, as it has resonated with countless fans across the globe. Even though she only releases music once in a while, you can always guarantee that her songs will be a hit. So in 2017 at the Grammy Awards, when she won Album of the Year, it wasn't totally surprising for fans. But it was surprising to her. When Adele and her team made their way to the stage to give her speech, she was quick to note that she feels she shouldn't have won the award. In her eyes, Beyonce should have won it, and she wanted everyone to know that, especially Beyonce. She ended up spending her acceptance speech time to give a speech to Beyonce about how she should have won. She even went as far as breaking her award in half and giving the other piece to her fellow singer. While some people thought it was a really kind gesture, others called it tacky and insulting to the fact that she was chosen for the award and just didn't seem to want it. It honestly reminded me of the Mean Girls scenes when like she breaks the crown into a million pieces and then throws them out to people. Sliding into number 9, we have Bradley Cooper. He was on the list with Lady Gaga, but this one is different. People were calling the actor cold after seeing an interview he did on the red carpet at the Oscars. Juliana Rancic was doing her thing and interviewing celebrities as they walked by, and when she got to Bradley, she was thrilled. She was telling him how much his movie made her fall more in love with her husband and basically just poured her heart and feelings out to him about how touching his performance was. That's like something every actor wants to hear. She followed that by asking him how he felt about putting something like that out into the world. His reply took people by surprise, as he said they were all working as hard as they could, and then said, "Other than that, I don't know." The internet went crazy and said that he was so dry with her and that his response was just very cold and unnecessary. Maybe he was having a bad day. It's a tough life, you know? Being at the Oscars. Up next, number 8, we have Sofia Vergara. It's no secret that she is considered one of the most beautiful women in the world. Some would say that she has it all with her stunning face and beautiful curves. But there is a time and a place to praise someone for their looks, and I'm not sure if a pedestal at an awards show is the way to go about it. At the 2014 Emmys, Bruce Rosenblum, who is the chairman of the Academy of Television Arts and Sciences, decided to literally put her up on a pedestal. She just stood there on a pedestal and it rotated 360 degrees so everyone could get a look at her and just how marvelous she was. The whole thing caused a stir on social media, as some people said it was unnecessary and went a little too far. Some people even called it creepy, but I will let you guys be the judge of that. Let me know in the comments. Cruising into number 7, we have Reese Witherspoon. When you think of Reese, you probably think of America's Sweetheart, because throughout her career, that is the title that she earned for herself. She's always come across as very kind, more quiet than most, and very soft-spoken, which is why it was so surprising to see a more edgy side to her at the 2011 MTV Movie Awards. When she made her way up on the stage to collect her Popcorn Award, she got ready to give her speech, which people thought was going to be like this sweet, heartfelt moment. But within the acceptance speech, she started speaking about girls achieving more than releasing a personal tape and starring on a reality reality TV show. Quite the remark to make when the industry is filled with celebrities who got famous for exactly that. Personal videos and reality shows. People immediately saw through Reese's speech and called her out online, saying that she was seemingly taking jabs at Kim Kardashian. In spot number 6 is Melanie Griffith and Dakota Johnson. Nothing worse than an awkward mother-daughter moment caught on camera and then later turned into a viral meme. Many people know Dakota Johnson as the lead actress in 50 Shades of Grey, but she's also the daughter of the iconic actress Melanie Griffith. Although they are a famous family, it doesn't mean that they don't get into like little tiffs like the rest of us normal people. But one of their tiffs came out during a red carpet interview at the 2015 Academy Awards. The two of them were doing an interview and things got super uncomfortable when Melanie was asked whether or not she has seen her daughter's movie, 50 Shades of Grey. Anyone who knows the movie or the book knows that it includes a lot of racy sex scenes. Melanie admitted that she had not seen it, and when the interviewer told her she should because it was really good, she kept refusing. She was so persistent on not wanting to watch it to a point where Dakota chimed in and says, "All right, you don't have to see it." It just created this like really awkward moment between them, and you could just feel the tension. It was super uncomfortable. Although, like, if I was her mom, I don't know if I'd want to see my daughter doing all that. But then, like, you want your mom to, like, support your career? I don't know. Tough call. Halfway through our countdown, at number 5 is Leonardo DiCaprio. His embarrassing moment quickly turned into a gif and went down as one of the funniest moments at the 2016 Golden Globe Awards. It was a mix of funny and cringeworthy only because people didn't know what was going on in his head when it happened. Lady Gaga won a Golden Globe for her performance in American Horror Story, and she was walking past his table to make her way to the stage. His reaction to her walking past was priceless. His facial expression came out as very inappropriate and rude, so of course it went viral right away. There were comments flooding the internet saying he was flinching away from her like he didn't want her to accidentally touch him. But he denied the claims and said he just didn't realize that she was brushing past him, so he was a little startled. Honestly, it's still an ongoing debate, so let me know what you think. Does look a little bit sketchy. Rolling into spot number 4 is Brendan Fraser. Speaking of gifts, Leo wasn't the only person to have an embarrassing moment turned into one. But if I'm being honest, the attention Brendan got for this seemed so ridiculous to me. Like, I'm still confused why he went viral and why people made such a big deal about it. Back in 2010, he was making strange headlines that focused on how he clapped his hands. It was at the Golden Globes when the camera caught an awkward moment of him clapping at something, but it looked like he just forgot how to actually clap. The bizarre clip resulted in endless amounts of GIFs and memes, and honestly, I still don't understand it to this day. Yes, it's like a weird clapping thing he does, but like, is that really worth a headline? I don't know. In our third spot is Chrissy Teigen. Speaking of memes, she is the queen of memes after her face turned into one of the biggest ones in the entire world. Even without showing the picture, you probably already know which one I'm talking about because it is known as being the meme face now. Chrissy is absolutely hilarious on the internet, so if anyone could laugh off a meme, it's her. During the 2015 Golden Globe, she provided us with a meme that would entertain us for years. Her husband, John Legend, was on stage performing one of his beautiful love songs about her. Of course, the camera was on her to catch her reaction to his performance, but it seemed to have caught her in a bad moment. It seemed like she was trying to keep back her tears, but when the camera caught her, it looked like she had smelt something very bad, and she looked absolutely disgusted. This was probably just like the worst timing possible, but he's like singing this beautiful love song and she's literally just like, Taking over the number 2 spot is John Travolta. Now, I know he's been on one of the other parts of this list, but this is for a different reason. Things got serious for the actor after he was being accused of being inappropriate and creepy towards Scarlett Johansson. It was at the 2015 Academy Awards while they were on the red carpet. Scarlett was just standing there, looking beautiful on the red carpet, taking pictures like they normally do, and out of nowhere, John approaches her from behind, wraps his arms around her waist, and kisses her on the cheek. Now, we're not sure what made him want to do that or why he seemed like it was an appropriate thing to do, but people had a lot to say about it, and Scarlett did not look too impressed by the face in her pictures. I don't think you can just go up and grab someone like that. What? At least say hi first. I don't know. Earning our number 1 spot is James Franco. This one is far more serious than the other ones on our list. We haven't seen James much ever since his career literally ended on the night of an award show. In 2018, he showed up to the Golden Globes and accepted the award for Best Lead Actor in a Comedy for his movie The Disaster Artist. He stepped on stage wearing a Time's Up pin, which symbolizes the movement led by hundreds of Hollywood women in hopes to support those who need legal help in addressing issues of sexual harassment and assault. While some people might have initially thought it was a very powerful thing for him to support, other people were quick to call him out on what a disgrace it was. Women immediately began calling James out on social media for his own behavior and said they could not believe that he would wear that pin in the first place. Other celebrities came forward with claims of his sexual allegations, as well as students from his LA acting school who actually ended up filing a lawsuit against him and sued him. His career literally ended that night, and he has been blacklisted from Hollywood ever since then. Kicking off our countdown at number 10 is Mariah Carey. Back in 2010 at the Palm Springs International Film Festival, she won the award for her role in Precious. She played a social worker and was receiving the award for Breakthrough Actress. She tried to accept her award graciously, but that seemed difficult for her since she had one too many drinks. You could tell she was tipsy the minute she started talking, and the worst part was she was up there with the director of the movie, who just did not seem impressed at all. Mariah ended up apologizing in her speech, saying that it was all the splashes of champagne she had on an empty stomach. She did the best she could as she slurred her way through the speech. Rookie mistake though for drinking on an empty stomach. Like, that is rule number 1 in any drinking guide. Like, always eat, especially on one of the most important nights of your life. Moving on to number 9, we have Eminem. He has made a lot of headlines throughout his career, but this one was weird for everyone. In 2002, he made headlines that read, Slim Shady fights a puppet. It was at the VMA Awards when the puppet, called Triumph the Insult Comic Dog, started making jokes at him about his feud with the techno artist Moby. Now, the man behind the puppet is comedy writer Robert Smigel, who was just doing his job insulting celebrities in a joking manner. But Eminem was not having the little skit, and he shoved the puppet out of his way, and then one of his friends grabbed Robert's notes and just tossed them into the air. Robert and his puppet were later asked about it during a press conference, and he said, "Try to be easy on Eminem. At the end of the day, he is just another white guy trying to make an honest living, stealing black people's music." Who knew a puppet could cause so much drama and make something that was supposed to be funny into something so serious? Although I can't even imagine Eminem tolerating some sort of insulting puppet. I just can't see him having the patience for that. Cruising into number 8, we have Natalie Portman. Throughout the years, many women in Hollywood have used award shows as an opportunity to call out the inequality within the industry between men and women. Oprah Winfrey did just that at the 2018 Golden Globe Awards, and many actresses have followed suit ever since then. So Natalie Portman thought she would do just that, but the timing for it didn't seem to be the best choice. Most people use their acceptance speech to talk about that, but she brought it up during the presentation of another award. She was on stage with director Ron Howard by her side, and it was their job to have a little conversation before announcing the winner for the Best Director category. Natalie used the opportunity to fake excitement over the fact that all the nominees in the category were men and not women. While her intentions were good, the timing was just super uncomfortable as the male director just awkwardly stood beside her and they presented the award to another male director. It was super awkward. Next up at number 7, we have Bob Dylan. Dylan. Let me start off by saying this was no way his fault and he had no control over the situation. It was just bad luck that it happened during his performance. His career was not destroyed, but his performance definitely was. And the person to blame for that is a man named Michael Portnoy. He was a New York-based performance artist who jumped on stage during Bob Dylan's performance at the 1998 Grammy Awards. The musician was performing Lovesick with his band, and Michael removed his shirt and ran up on stage and began dancing with the words "soy bomb" painted on his bare chest. He began dancing in this very strange, robotic, contorted manner with his eyes closed, and he later said he used the words on his chest because soy represents dense nutritional life and he wanted art to represent dance, transformation, explosive life. His words, not mine. He was on stage for a total of 35 seconds before being removed by security. Bob Dylan stayed professional though, and he just kept playing as if the man was not right next to him. So props to him, handled it like a champ, but yeah, the performance was definitely, not great. Rolling into spot number 6, we have Nicole Kidman. One of the best parts about award shows is the camera capturing the reactions of audience members. We love to see how people react to other winners or how the losers in the category react to the loss. But sometimes these cameras capture the strangest reactions, and Nicole Kidman's is one of them. It was in 2017 that she made weird headlines after going to the Oscars. The headlines were talking about her very strange clap, which they said looked like a seal clapping. As she sat in the audience next to her husband Keith Urban, she stood up from her chair and started clapping at those who were standing on stage receiving their awards. Bless her heart. That's a normal thing and a very kind thing, but when the camera panned to her and showed the world how she was clapping, it is all Twitter could talk about. Her fingers were pointed out to the side, like away from each other like this, and then when she was clapping, her hands didn't actually touch, so it looked like this. Nicole later said it was because she was wearing a huge ring that was not hers and she did not want to damage it. Halfway through our list at number 5, we have Winona Ryder. Speaking of weird reactions getting caught on camera, Winona is just another person who was caught acting a little bit strange. I can just imagine though what facial expressions like they would capture of me, so I'm in no position to judge. Her reaction was highly talked about at the 2017 SAG Awards. She had joined the cast of Stranger Things on stage to accept the award for outstanding performance by an ensemble in a drama series. When they all made their way to the stage, actor David Harbour was giving the speech and her reaction to it was hilarious. Her expressions went from confusion to disgust to fear to joy and then back to confusion. It was hard to focus on the man giving the speech because her roller coaster of emotions was just so much more fun to watch. Cruising into spot number 4, we have Marlon Brando. This one caused a huge controversy, so your opinion might differ from someone else's. At the 1973 Oscar Awards, apparently he wasn't interested in accepting the award for his movie The Godfather. So instead of him going up and accepting his award, he sent Sacheen Littlefeather, a 26-year-old Native American activist and aspiring actress. She didn't quite give an acceptance speech though, it was actually quite the opposite. She read excerpts from a letter that was prepared by Marlon rejecting the award because of the treatment of American Indians today by the film industry. As she was reading, the audience gave her mixed emotions, with some people booing and some people applauding. A lot of people were just very confused as to why he would reject an Oscars award, and if he was going to do that, then they said that he should be the one to do so. Let me know what you guys think about this, because I'm actually curious on, your opinion. Making their way into number 3 is Frank Capra. The Academy Awards is probably a time when you want to use last names when presenting an award, especially when you're using a common name like Frank. An incredibly awkward and embarrassing moment happened to Frank Capra in 1934 when he thought he had won an award that he actually didn't. Will Rogers presented the Best Director award by saying, "Come up and get it, Frank." Frank Capra was nominated for Lady for a Day and just assumed that he meant it was him who won the award, so he started walking towards the stage. But the award was actually for Frank Lloyd. Frank Capra actually talked about this moment in his memoir, describing the very painful moment of returning to his seat, and he called it the longest, saddest, most shattering walk of shame in his life. That is the ultimate walk of shame. fame. There's no recovering from that. Up next, number 2, we have Taylor Swift. Don't worry, Frank, you are not the only one who thought an award was for them when it wasn't. Taylor Swift also got ahead of herself at the 2014 Grammy Awards. She was one of the nominees for the Best Album category, and her album Red was the center of attention, so she probably felt that she had a very good chance of winning. As Alicia Keys read out the winner, the name of the album began with an R, so Taylor and her team thought they won the award and immediately just started celebrating. It was super awkward because the camera captured them celebrating right away, but then they quickly realized that it actually was not her album at all, and they did not actually win the award. It just started with an R, and they got ahead of themselves. In our number 1 spot is Robert Opel. I don't think anything ruins a career as much as streaking does. That is right, this activist ran on stage naked in 1974 at the Oscar Awards. That takes some guts to say the least. The Oscar host David Niven was on stage and he was trying to introduce someone, and people in the audience just randomly started screaming in shock. Robert ran on stage naked right behind David, flashing the peace sign. It was a moment that went down in history, but how David handled it was actually everyone's favorite part. After the streaking moment was over, David said to the crowd, "The only laugh that man will ever get in his life is by stripping off and showing his shortcomings." He deserves an award just for how he handled that situation. Alright guys, that is all I got. Make sure you leave a like on this video and subscribe so you don't miss another one. I was your host, Joss Bedard. I will see you next time. Bye!